easiest way to do that was with a Google site. I do work for Google. This is not Google sponsored. They wanted to make that very clear. No gift cards, no prizes. If you're here for the prizes, you will be disappointed. Time to leave.
Has everyone here watched Solid State? I believe it might be a required viewing.
I have not watched Solid State.
It's the documentary about Minnesota Tech history.
Whew. If you're hoping to learn a lot today, you will also be disappointed. I have not watched Solid State. Yeah, there we go. There is a. So the first thing I wanted to say in this talk is, if you're interested in Minnesota Tech history, watch Solid State, the documentary that I think is available online, maybe somewhere.
PBS, or local PBS did it.
There you go. All right.
So is this a Kahoot game, or?
I'll get there. I just got to see if my link's updated. Oh, we are at time. Let's go, folks. I was like, I'm not going to start until it's time. All right. 0808.com. Has anybody listened to NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me? Yeah, OK. That's fantastic. It's so funny. I love it. This game is clearly just ripped straight from that. If you love Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, I need you to lower your expectations a bit.
I think the code on the website might be wrong.
That's possible. Actually, I need you to lower your expectations a byte. If that didn't do it for you, this is going to be rough. This is going to. All right. Oh wait. It could still be publishing. Folks. Let's see if we got it here. I've got two in. All right, we're in a good spot. Go to 0808.com, or you can go to kahoot.it and go to this game pin. Thank you, Mick Butts. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tech conference, keeping things professional. Appreciate that effort that you're making together with us. All right. I need you to be in, okay? Today I'm trying something different, okay? I've never done this kind of talk before. I called it in the title, I said this was Minnesota's yearly tech quiz. That's not true. This is the first time we've done it. So we're going to decide together, because you're in this with me now, if we're going to do this twice. There's a feedback form that's like right below the link you just clicked, and that will determine whether or not. And yes, I did buy the domain 0808.com just for today, so please do go to that link to make me think that I didn't waste 12 bucks. 0808.com, I purchased just for today, so do click that link. That'll make me feel much better. All right, people can still join after. I promise to waste a lot of your time before we get to the first question. Okay. Are you in? Not like, are you in the game? Like, you can still join now. 0808.com. Yep, it's spinning. That's good. But I'm asking, like, are you in? Because if you're not in, like, are you on my team? Are we doing this? We're doing this. All right. And it was not multiple choice. It was single choice. Single choice answer there. All right.
Customer support. It's not working.
All right. So you told me you've heard wait, wait. This is going to start like that. And we start. If you came here to watch a train wreck, you're on the train. Okay. From Minibar 17, this is 0808 Don't Tell Me, Minnesota's yearly tech quiz. From Luke.Schlangen to Luke.mn, the most recently 0808.com. Just Luke at all of these domains he wasted money on. It's me, your host, Luke Schlangen. It says wait for applause. Wait for applause is what I put in my notes. Perfect. Beautiful. We are here at the beautiful Best Buy campus in Bloomington, Minnesota. And before we get to the trivia game, I do need to make a disclaimer here that while I am an employee of Google, they would like to make it clear that I have no affiliation with the absurdity that is about to commence. The same is also true for my family. Disclaimer out of the way, please join the game at 0808.com. A true impulse buy from earlier this week. This is cutting in and out, so if you can't hear me, let me know. I will look really silly When I tell my wife I spent $12 on this, if you do not go to this domain. So please do go to this domain. I'll also look silly because the Kahoot account costs $300. So let's make this worth it, folks. So please save a marriage. Go to 0808.com. Feel free to join on multiple devices. People asked about cheating. Please feel free to join on multiple devices. Every visit to the site helps justify the expense in the upcoming argument with my wife that I will lose. All right, and now we come to our first segment, a game that I'm calling Mini Quote. I thought about mini quota for like Minnesota, but I was like, quota, that's kind of weird and doesn't really fit. This is Mini Quote. I am going to read 3 quotations from some of the most popular Ministar videos of all time. Your job is to correctly identify what that speaker was talking about. You got your phones ready? Here we go. Here's our first one. You vote with your feet. What was that speaker talking about? Were they talking about mini AMA, mini bar, mini demo, or mini barbecue? Mini AMA, mini bar, mini demo, or mini barbecue. You have 30 seconds for this one. We will get faster as time goes on. So this will take 30 seconds or until everyone has answered. We are not there yet. Some people still hemming and hawing over mini AMA, mini bar, mini demo, and mini barbecue. What were people talking about when they said you vote with your feet? That's right. Just about everybody got that first one right. Mini bar. The answer to the first question was the event you are currently at right now. I promise they will not get easier. Okay. We are on to our next quote. The late David Hussman, a true legend in the Minnesota tech community, the founder of DevJam, said in his Session Zero talk at Minibar 19, if you don't know where you are going, it is easy to iteratively not get there. What was he talking about? Was he talking about when he said, if you don't know where you're going, it's easy to iteratively not get there? Was he talking about agile software development, road trips, his email signature, or a speakeasy? If you don't know where you're going, it's easy to iteratively not get there. If you lost your spot, you should be able to go back to 0808.com to get back to where you need to go. The questions and points will increase toward the end, so if you've missed a couple here, you still got plenty of time. And the answer was agile software development and his email signature. Both of those are correct. That was his email signature. If you have an interest in agile development or just software development in general, like how it gets made, you can watch that talk from David Hussman on the internet. It is on Ministar's YouTube channel. A lot of really incredible takeaways. I never had a chance to meet him. He has passed, and I only first learned about him through watching that video from Ministar. So a big thank you to Ministar and this community, the community we're all a part of here, for bringing that to my attention. So yeah. All right, let's take a look at our scoreboard. Jaden in the lead, but not by a long shot. That's you, you're Jaden. All right, fantastic. We've got our upcoming competitors staying right behind. Here we go. This is from the most watched mini bar session ever. So if you go to YouTube, you go to Ministar, and you look at the YouTube replays, if you're just joining, you can join the game at 0808.com. A crunch starts with, we're not going to have a crunch this year. That was Chip Peterson giving a talk about the industry that he works in. Is that the gaming industry, the candy bar manufacturing industry, the monster truck jumping industry, or the leaf crunching industry? It was the gaming industry. The gaming industry. Chip, does anybody know Chip Peterson, part of the Ministar community? He's a phenomenal speaker, and he does a great job, especially live. He interacts with the audience. If you ever get a chance to go see him speak live, you should absolutely do it. Except for right now, because he's giving a talk in a different room. And that brings us to the end of Mini Quote. Oh, that's Chip Peterson. That's how I did the slides. OK. All right. That brings us to the end of Mini Quote. If you've fallen behind or just joined us, do go to 0808.com. Still plenty of time to catch up. I know we've got a couple of out-of-staters, or at least a handful of out-of-staters at the conference. When a Minnesotan says, well, that's different, they typically mean, that wasn't so great. The next segment, I'm going to give you 3 stories of things that happened in the past week. Only one of them is true, but they are all things of which a Minnesotan might say, well, that's different. Here we go, story time. Our first story comes to us from the Minnesota Twins. Nolan and his girlfriend Alicia are big fans of the Minnesota Twins. So when Nolan was ready to propose, he knew exactly how he wanted to do it. In an attempt to keep things a secret, he asked his brother Silas for help. Silas called the stadium to tell them that the Jumbotron should read, "Will you marry me, Alicia?" Signed, Nolan. However, the phone operator for the Twins said he couldn't quite hear over the spotty connection, so he asked, "Sorry, what's your name?" "Silas." "And who is this for?" "Nolan." Due to that spotty connection, when the big moment came at last night's Twins game, the Jumbotron instead read, "Will you marry me, Nolan?" Signed, Silas. After a few horrified looks between Silas, Nolan, and Alicia, confusion was eventually cleared up. Alicia and Nolan are now planning to get married on June 7th or July 6th, depending on the order of the month and day. Our second story comes to us from down south, and by down south, I mean to say Olmsted County. Students at Rochester Public Schools in Minnesota had school canceled this past Monday. In Minnesota in April, most initially assumed it must have been another 24-inch snowstorm, but in fact they learned that schools were closed Monday due to a cybersecurity threat. Classes did resume Tuesday, but with reduced use of technology. No word yet on whether this was a ransomware attack or a sophomore trying to change their grade from an F to an A. Our final story is about one of Minnesota's many beautiful lakes. Lake Chipotle, a lake that forms in a Minneapolis Chipotle parking lot for the spring months, has famously had a paddleboarder, a dock, and a beach chair added in the past. However, Lake Chipotle tourism, a real thing. Like even regardless of whether or not this story is real, that is a real thing. Lake Chipotle tourism has gone high tech with its latest addition this past week, a robotic submarine. The submarine is fitted with a remote control and a camera that allows visitors to explore the lake floor. Researchers hope to map the entire lake before it disappears due to climate change or a small water pump. And that is it for Well, That's Different. So which of those stories actually happened in this past week? If you are just joining, the domain name that I purchased, please visit 0808.com, and you can join the game. You are not too far behind. Which of these stories actually happened? Was it the story of the Twins game, Marry Me, Jumbotron gone wrong? Was it the cybersecurity school closing? Or was it the Lake Chipotle submarine? It was, in fact, the cybersecurity school closing in Rochester this Monday. They did close school. I am happy that someone picked the Marry Me Jumbotron. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's more a vote for the story than the realism. I appreciate that one. I was really happy with that. All right, and that's it for Well, That's Different. Okay. I do, if you're excited about Lake Chipotle, I want to clarify that I tried really hard to work an NPR raccoon into this. I wasn't able to get it to happen. So if you are not amused so far by the Minnesotan absurdity and you're thinking like Luke is kind of stretching it to call this tech trivia, you are going to hate this next segment. Anyway, the next segment is Mini Movie Star. Mini Movie Star. In this segment, I'll be quizzing you on the Minnesotans who have gone on to be movie stars. Your goal is to correctly identify the Minnesotan from each of these science fiction movies or television series where they pretend to use advanced technology while mostly using a green screen. Here we go. Which Stranger Things actor was born in Minnesota? Was it Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, Caleb McLaughlin, or Winona Ryder? Which of these Stranger Things actors was born in Minnesota? Again, if you're just joining, please join 0808.com. Click the link. You can absolutely get in. I've just been wasting people's time so far. We're going to go a lot faster later. Winona Ryder is the correct answer. Winona Ryder. We are on to our next question. All right, Chris taking the lead. Which Total Recall 2012, not the original, actor was born in Minnesota? Was it Kate Beckinsale? Some of these actors didn't do a lot of sci-fi, so I really had to stretch here to count this as tech. Was it Kate Beckinsale, Colin Farrell, Jessica Biel, or Bryan Cranston? Jessica Biel, Jessica Biel. All right, people are getting this. Here we go. Which Guardian of the Galaxy actor was born in Minnesota? Was it Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Vin Diesel, or Sean Gunn? One of these. and possibly more because I didn't fact check any of this, was born in Minnesota. One second left. Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt was born here?
That's the kind of, that's what you're here for, right? That kind of useful information. And mentioning Chris Pratt at a tech conference, I do feel like I have to share what I think is the greatest improvised line in Parks and Rec of all time, which is, you already know where I'm going with this. So Leslie Knope has the flu. And Chris Pratt points at his computer and he says, Leslie, I put your symptoms into here, and it says you might have network connectivity issues.
That's pretty fitting for the bar.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's good. All right, so if you are not a movie trivia buff, as I am not, you might be looking for some relief. In the next section, we'll make things a little easier because we will be using rhyming in a limerick game that I'm calling Minirix. I didn't know how to pronounce that. Minirix? Anyway. All right. I'm going to read three. No. Go back. I can't go back. All right. I'm going to read this quickly. All right. Make the best pitch for your startup, for there's only one winner and one runner-up. Judges make decisions in every division, and this contest called the Minnesota. Okay, 30 seconds was a long time. That was fine. It was fine. Only one of these is correct. It does rhyme with startup and up. Yes. Oh, we pop. All right. All right. Cool. I will admit some of these rhymes are a stretch. So the fact that club and hub were in there, not necessarily a giveaway that doesn't count. So here we go. Our next one, I'll read first before we go to it. Taking place on May 24th, price is not measured on worth. That one was a stretch. The ticket's not free, but the software might be I'll read this one again. Taking place on May 24th, price is not measured in worth. The ticket's not free, but the software might be at a conference called Open Source.
Their tickets are like $300 too.
I said it's not free.
It's not, and there won't give me a scholarship either.
I feel like you're getting upset with me for their pricing and not my rhyming. Which I guess I'll be okay with because the rhyming is terrible. If you're going to let me get away with fourth and worth.
The rhyming is better than their terrible pricing.
All right, there we go. Open Source North, that is correct. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you're too late. Tickets are sold out. But if you haven't applied to the Minnesota Cup yet, you're too late. That was last week. I didn't mean for this to just be like a list of regrets and FOMO that people could have. So this last one is still in the future. We're still looking at the future here for this last one. It will change. Yes, eventually this will be in the past. Okay. In 2023, 7 days in November will be filled with shaking hands. So start making plans for the Twin Cities startup. It's pronounced chic, is how that one rhymes, if you're wondering. Weak. All right, people were very quick, got that one. All right, and that brings us to the end of the rhyming and my terrible pronunciation of worth. Okay, moving on, we are headed to, yes, so hopefully I'll see you there, right? I did look at tickets for that. They are expensive, but you do get a free t-shirt and a hoodie, and judging by the audience, you're all sold. Let's go. Let's go, I'm in. All right, that final rhyme brings us to our final category. We are going to get out real early. Perfect time for happy hour. That's right. We'll go bug them early. This is Minventions. We're going to start with questions about Minnesotan inventors, and then we'll move into a lightning round where you have to decide true or false if something was created in Minnesota, if this Minvention was created in Minnesota. All right, here we go. Our first question. Oh, these are all double points, so everything before this was... Anyway, what was the name of the Minnesota invented protocol that ultimately lost to HTTP? So protocol protocol invented in Minnesota that ultimately lost to HTTP? Was it Lady Slipper Protocol, Gopher Protocol, Loon Protocol, or Mosquito Protocol? Gopher Protocol is correct. Gopher Protocol. Hey, got it. All right, next up. What wheel-based transportation technology was developed in Minnesota? Rollerblades, roller skates, Heelys, or the skateboard? One of these was invented in Minnesota.
I'm just gonna go by color.
Rollerblades was the correct answer. If you can find Heelys was also invented in Minnesota, I didn't fact check any of this, so you might be right. All right, here we are. What is our Lynn in the lead? Moving on to our next one. The creator of the artificial pacemaker and co-founder of Medtronic also founded which museum in Minneapolis? The Works Museum, the Science Museum, the Children's Museum, or the Bakken Museum? This is a picture of the actual one. This is not a red herring. So if you recognize that museum, it is the Bakken Museum. The Bakken Museum. His last name was Bakken. All right, Lynn hanging on to that top spot, but there's still plenty of people right on their tail. Here we go. Also double points. Minnesotan and 3M inventor Richard Drew is credited with contributing to the invention of which of these? Masking tape, Scotch tape, Post-it notes, duct tape. Masking tape, Scotch tape, Post-it notes, or duct tape? Inventor Richard Drew. It's all of them except for Post-it notes. That one was a little mean. I'm going to be honest. That was the meanest questions I got here. Different inventor. Different inventor for Post-it notes. He did all three of those. So if you guessed anything that wasn't Post-it notes, you got it. Post-it notes not invented by that specific inventor. That was mean. But it was fun for me, and that's what counts. All right, Nerf ball. True or false? Invented in Minnesota. These you have 10 seconds for, and then I think I go down to 5 seconds here. So true or false? Nerf ball. Yes or no? Invented in Minnesota. True or false? True. Invented in Minnesota. All right, next up. True or false? Invented in Minnesota. Snowmobile. Was that invented in Minnesota? Surely seems plausible. We do have a lot of snow here. True. It was invented in Minnesota. The snowmobile was invented in Minnesota. Some of you are not giving us enough credit here. All right, double points. Breathe right nasal strips. Breathe right nasal strips. Were they invented in Minnesota? True. True. And the what?
They made a version of those for horses, and they were also invented here.
There you go. Magnetic poetry. Invented in Minnesota. True or false? True or false? Magnetic poetry. True as well. All right, Jaden still at the top here. Fell behind mid-game but came back. Light bulb invented in Minnesota. True or false?
That's totally true.
Okay, for those who put true. This was I know you noticed the pattern, right? True, 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 true. And that's good. It's good to recognize that pattern. That's false. That's false. We're not trying to spread false information here. All right. True or false? Invented in Minnesota, kitty litter. Kitty litter. Invented in Minnesota. True or false? 5 seconds to answer. True. Invented in Minnesota. Mostly included because of the cute picture of the cat, yes. True or false? Invented in Minnesota, automatic opening and closing elevator door. I don't know why I had to do this hand motion to think like, oh, they won't understand it unless I I need to do that hand motion. All right, Todd taking over the top spot. Here we go. Snowball. Was the snowball invented in Minnesota? True or false? True or false? Invented in Minnesota? False. Okay, we're also modest here, right? Like, you invented it as a 4-year-old, yes, but also, like, somebody beat you to it. Somebody beat you to it. All right, here we go. True or false? Invented in Minnesota? Tilt-a-whirl. Tilt-a-whirl.
That's not a tilt-a-whirl.
It's not. The image. Look, as I got to the end, I was like, close enough. It's tilting, it's whirling, it does the things.
I mean, it fits the description.
Yeah. That's what Getty Images gave me, and that's what you got. The personal computer invented in Minnesota. True or false?
Yeah, Bill Money Gates from here.
True or false? Personal computer. Somebody has given us true for all of these. Just giving us credit on every single one, and I appreciate your Minnesota enthusiasm. You will not get points to compensate you for that, but I appreciate it. Todd, taking over that top spot with a 500-point difference as we enter our final set of questions. Tonka toys, like the Tonka truck, invented in Minnesota. True or false? Yes, right now we are in room Minnetonka, and that is related to Tonka toys. Yes. All right, on to the next one. Here we go, double points. Sliced bread. Invented in Minnesota. True or false? True or false? Somebody's still giving us credit. I love it. Somebody's like, Minnesotans invented everything, and everybody outside of here, anybody east of Wisconsin doesn't get credit for their inventions. True or false? Pop-up toaster. Pop-up toaster. True. That one was. All right. I do know that I think that's the second to last question, which means we've. Look at this! Look at this! All that rehearsing that Todd and Jaden and I did, it paid off. We've got a perfectly tied game. It's going to be who's fastest on the trigger here.
You're off by 2,000.
Oh. All right. Here we go. Pontoon boat. True or false? Yes, the pontoon boat was invented in Minnesota. And that is it for Minventions. And that was the final segment of our quiz. So we are going to get out early. Before you leave, please do go to 0808.com, fill out the feedback form. This took a surprisingly amount of time to put together. Like I did a Kubernetes talk that was like, we covered some really technical stuff, and this took way longer. This took way longer, so please do give me feedback. Let me know. I also intentionally left time at the end so that you could go now to 0808.com and fill out your feedback while I'm talking. I'm going to tell you one last story while you go fill out your feedback at 0808.com. So in baseball, there's this concept of wins above replacement. Some of you baseball fans might know this, right? So like, in theory, it counts like minus this player replaced with some mid-tier player. Like, how would this team have done? How many wins is this player responsible for on their team? And like a really good player at the end of the season, they'll be responsible for like 10 of the team's wins. I tell you this to talk about trivia. So I love trivia, but I play with my friend James, who's like good at trivia. Like I'm not good at trivia. To give you an idea of how good James is, one time we were playing, and before halftime, the host said, all right, at half, whoever the winning team is gets a free appetizer. And James turned to me and said, hey, Luke, that question you had, you said, let me see. You said Thomas Edison was alternating current and Nikola Tesla was direct current. You said that? And I said, yeah. He's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. And he's like, okay, because I got every other question right and I know it. Like I know I got every other question right. So I'm going to order us a free appetizer. And he ordered an appetizer. We ate the appetizer. And Nikola Tesla invented alternating current. Not in that order. But I was wrong. Anyway, it's fine. I paid for the appetizer. A completely different day, our team won trivia. We won trivia. James won trivia. I was there. And at the end, like I had just invited friends because like it's fun to just have more people at trivia. At the end, the host came over to like give us our prize. There are no prizes today. This is a long way of saying that. No tickets to any conferences. He came over and says, oh, wait, you have 8 people at your table. Yeah, only 6 are allowed to play. So I lost James trivia that day. So all of this to say that my wins above replacement in trivia is -2, optimistically. So if you won today, please come and talk to me. We probably have a lot of similar interests. If you love this like weird, silly, stupid stuff. If you lost today, we probably have a similar skill set. And I'll see you in the hallway track. Thanks so much, everybody.